Hello, good morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever it is that you're watching this video, and welcome back to Cosmic Lovers Tarot. We're doing a reading for Virgo today, so you could be either a sun, moon, or rising Virgo. And the spread we're going to be playing around with today is a spread on finding inspiration. So if you are a creatively inclined person, and you're struggling on finding motivation, could be motivation also, but finding inspiration for a new project or for a current project that maybe has stalled out a little bit, or maybe even just finding inspiration on developing a creative pursuit in general and trying to decide like which way to go creatively, we will be getting some answers for you today. All right. Let's go ahead and dive into this. I hope you guys are having a good day so far. All right, so first off, I'm going to pull you an oracle card from the Wild Goddess Oracle deck. Oops. We got the Dancer. And the back of the card says, you must feel free to express yourself if you want to live a truly authentic life of quality and meaning. Our soul's dance is unending. So, some of you watching this may actually be a dancer, which is very cool. So this might be inspiration for a new piece of choreography or a new production. You might be in theater. This might be, part of a theater production. But what this really makes me think of more so than just like the act of being, a literal dancer, is this idea that we all are naturally creative, artistic, in our own right. And I believe, and I think it's been shown time and time again, that, I guess where I'm going with this is artistic ability and madness or psychological disturbances often go hand in hand, right? You see a lot of creative types who are the mad genius archetype, where they are, they might struggle in their personal life with relationships or holding down a traditional job or finances, but they're brilliant in the creative realm. And I think that if we expand on that analogy and we really look at like what happens to our psyches when we are not expressing ourselves creatively, and I think that we can find the root cause of a lot of mental illness is in fact unexpressed either psychic abilities, magical abilities, or intuitive empathic abilities, or creative expression, right? So what I'm getting here right out the gate from you guys is that some of you might be struggling through a bit of depression or a bit of anxiety, and the antidote to that is actually going to be your creative expression. So I'm going to be using the Tarot of Curious Creatures for the first part of this. We're going to look at how you can use your head to find motivation. Nope. All right. Okay. So 10 of Swords flew out for us. This is a big anxiety card, but it also speaks to the end of a cycle. So in this particular situation though, in regards to you guys, I'm seeing this as you need to, so how you can use your head to find inspiration, right? Get out of it, basically. Staying in the head in the planning stages of this is doing you no good. This is a situation, this is an idea that you've had for so long. And it's like I'm seeing this flower here is like the bloom of your project, right? And it wants to bloom. And here you are, like this honeybee that wants to fertilize it. Like you are a perfect match, you and this project that you have, this idea that you have. But all of your swords are keeping this from being a reality. And I think this is a situation where you haven't pulled the trigger on this yet because you're trying to find the right moment or the right situation, or you're trying to make sure that all the fine details. And hey, as a Virgo, I get that. I have a Virgo moon, and I struggle with this exact thing where it's like, no, like, a perfect example is like, well, yes, I'm going to write my novel, but first I need to research every possible other depiction of this theme in something else before I start writing. Or I need to have the right workspace. Or I need to have, let me watch one more YouTube video about how to prepare to write your novel, or how to, what type of paint should I buy? What's the best style canvas, And this is a clear indicator that it's just time to just pull the trigger on it. Just do it, And also, there's a lot of overthinking and worrying here. And that is a quintessential Virgo trait, right? Is like kind of perfectionism, wanting things to be perfect. And this is also a sign, or like a reminder, that you're never going to be perfect your first time, ever. Your first time is never going to be perfect. In fact, you have to go through a stage of things being really messy and kind of chaotic and confusing. And get a little no holds barred with this, guys, like really just, I know I harp on timers because I have an ADHD brain that really benefits from the use of a timer. But utilizing a timer and just telling yourself, okay, if you're an artist, I have a canvas, I have I have a canvas, I have paint, I have a brush. Okay. Now I'm going to set a timer for 20 minutes. And all I'm going to do for this 20 minutes is just brush to canvas and not stop. If you're a writer, 20-minute timer. All I'm going to do is pen to paper, 20 minutes, not stop. I'm not going to worry about editing. I'm not going to worry about what it looks like. I'm going to do this 20-minute stretch. And then after that, I'll think about how to edit. But at least like getting the broad strokes out there, getting the content on the page, getting the expression, the form on the canvas, right, is going to be the most important part. And then after that, you will shine in terms of editing, okay? Okay. So, for inspiration for your heart. Okay, well, right out the gate, Page of Swords, I'm seeing a lot of verbal communication. So, a few things here that could really help is I'm getting the sense that you are like me, kind of a verbal processor. I use an app called Otter. It's Otter AI transcription. And sometimes I'll wake up and I've been playing around a little bit with like coming up with writing bits, like bits for stand-up comedy, which I don't know if I will ever end up doing that. But sometimes when I go through a phase where I watch a lot of stand-up, I will have like a little stand-up thing like pop into my head and I'll be like, oh, this is a great idea. So when I'm out walking my dog, I'll use this transcription app and I will just talk it out to myself. Seeing you doing a little bit of that could be helpful. So getting a transcription app or like a voice recorder or something. And while you're doing other things, just talk out loud your ideas and at least get those ideas flowing. See, like this is the big thing here. Is like all these little flutters here. All these little flutters are like your ideas. Like you're brimming over with ideas for sure. This is your heart space, Writing a love letter might be cool. If you've been thinking about writing like a romance story or something akin to romance or something in the romance arena, so to speak, writing a love story or writing a love letter to someone might be really helpful for you. Might give you a lot of, or actually going back through your old love letters. If you have letters saved or little like journal entries or something from past lovers. That might be a good thing to do. All right, how can we get your body on board with inspiration? Oh. All right, it's got 7 of Wands in reverse for body. Okay. All right, well, right out the gate, it's like rest and recharge, but there's something else there. There's something else there. I'm thinking of a book that I read once. It was The Cosmic Serpent by Jeremy Narby. And in The Cosmic Serpent, Jeremy talks about how he had this moment where he was like struggling to get to connect the dots between 2 pieces for his book. And which, by the way, that book is incredible. I can't recommend it enough. I should actually reread it at some point soon. It's a phenomenal book. But in the book, he talks about how at one point he was struggling through a creative block. And his way of navigating that is just to not think about it at all. Put the whole thing aside and go for a run or go for a long walk and just kind of let his mind kind of like filter things out, right? And then at the end, he would find that like somehow he magically came up with the solution to this creative block. But in actuality, it was just like sometimes our brains can get like stuck in a loop. And I'm seeing a little bit of that going on with you in terms of body, but I'm going to get some clarifiers here with the Rider-Waite because, yeah, this will help. This will help. Oh, okay. Well, sorry, these cards are just flying out today. Okay, yeah, so 10 of Swords clarified by Queen of Swords. This is definitely like, again, this is a testament to your sharp editing skills. Wow. So first off, I can tell, Virgo, you are really, really smart. Like very, very highly intelligent person. That is working against you right now. So this is a situation where, couple of things. First off, we've got a lot of like fertile energy here. Fertile ground, right? Like there's these ideas that you have really, really, really want to bloom, okay? What's happening here is that you being as logical and thoughtful and brilliant as you are is actually standing in your way in terms of being creative. Because again, okay, this is not a situation that you can think your way through, you know? That's the beauty of art. Now, if you're making... I'm trying to come up with an explanation for this, but I'm trying to say like you can make math beautiful. Like if you're an artist that is a mathematician and you play around with sacred geometry and you make these like cascading mandalas of Fibonacci sequence, golden ratio, beautiful things. Yes, I guess that's a situation where you can lead with thought and then you can have, a beautiful artistic rendering. But that's not the case in this situation, Virgo. This is a situation where I'm getting the sense that in your day-to-day life, you lead with your mind. You're a logical person, but there's something here that's like crying out for balance. It's like you're off balance because you live all up in your head. And this dancer, this call from the dancer is like, it's a cry to get back into your body and really feel. And I know I said, this is applicable for all artistic endeavors. So if you're a writer, if you're a musician, if you are a painter, if you are a sculptor, it doesn't matter. If you're a dancer, this is all the same relevance. Now, if your art is like musical or writing, I think it would still really benefit you to move, to get into your body. If, for instance, if you're a writer and you're building this beautiful scene between 2 people, or you're... Oh, sorry. Okay. My phone fell off the tripod. All right, so if you're filming or you're writing this like beautiful scene in your novel or in your short story, you might want to actually take a break and go out into nature and like walk it and talk it out, you know, like really see the scene. There's a little amphitheater right up the street from my house, and when I was working on my story, which didn't really go very far, but it's still there. It still lives. It's just I tabled it for a minute, mostly to focus on this. But I actually went down to the amphitheater and like sat and watched the scene play out as if my book were a play, if that makes sense. So I'm seeing you like, again, like really getting into your body, out of your head and into your body, acting things out, like playing things out. Like if you have a scene that you're struggling to kind of move through with your characters, I'm seeing you getting into character and like actually, you know, like making your neighbors laugh because you're like in the backyard, like having an argument with yourself, you know, but it's because you're building this like beautiful scene in this like beautiful world. So yes, your intelligence is acknowledged. It's just that this is a situation where the only way out of this is feeling your way through. And I think you'll be amazed at some of the stuff that your subconscious or your unconscious mind has been hiding from you that is going to come out when you let yourself just flow, you know? Just flow. And like I said, I know, you know, Virgo, I promise you, what will be really helpful for you is just to set that timer and force yourself to go for it, you know? Tell yourself that for the next 20 minutes, you are just going to create with reckless abandon and then just see what happens, and you will be pleased with the results. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. So in terms of your heart, ooh, yeah, guys, there is a wealth of potential hiding within a lost love, a former love. Okay, so hear me out on this. So a long time ago, you guys had a love that maybe went south, but you still have the letters and you still have the feelings. That is the source of your inspiration, and it will also be the pathway towards your healing. Because it may not be like actual physical letters. It might be emails. It might be text messages. But it's something that you have. And again, this is a relationship that went south, a relationship that ended badly, and actually, it looks like it's different for each one of you, or for some of you differently than others. So for some of you, this is a relationship that ended badly, and what ended badly for you was actually a gift, because now you can turn it into art. I'm seeing this again as like all these letters, all these emails, all these text messages that you have, and they would benefit from a fresh perspective. They would benefit from a look back, right? And then I see you turning those into a really cool story, or a really cool piece of art, or a gorgeous dance piece. If you are a dancer, choreographer, maybe a song that you used to associate with a past love. And then what's cool about that is there's this rinsing effect that's going to happen. So you have some residual lingering pain attached to this person. It's not a lot, don't worry. It's not like you don't have to go to therapy over it or anything like that. It's just a little bit of leftover pain. And what I'm getting here now is like something that I've never actually thought about, and this is really cool, but it's this idea that the universe does that to us on purpose. We don't process all of the pain of an experience so that we can save it in our story and use it as fuel to tell other people through a medium, you know, because we're here on this planet to create. And so here we are left with these wounds, and we're like, why can't I heal this? Why isn't this going away? Why am I still upset about this? Oh, it's because you're supposed to make something with it. That's why it's still there, you know? That's why we get left. That's why emotions stay. That's why we have memories of things, you know? Well, I guess it's twofold. I guess the other reason they stay is, well, there's probably a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons is obviously so that we don't make that mistake again. But the other part is so that we can convey, like, you think about songwriters who convey emotion to the depth that it stirs your soul, and you're like, holy shit, you felt that so deeply that you were able to put it into a song that then made me cry. You carried emotion from you and your life through the airwaves, through a song, to me, to my heart space, and made me cry. That's how good of a conduit of emotional energy you are. And that's the message for you in this too. You are also that conduit. You also have the capacity to make someone cry, which sounds, not nice, but you know what I mean. It always feels good to have a good, like, cathartic crying release session with something that hits you on the same level as someone else, and you have that moment where you're like, wow, I didn't know anyone else felt that way. There's something like that going on for you too. All right. Now I'm going to try to get some clarity on this body thing. Because, yeah, we talked about, like, going for a walk, but I think there's more there. Yeah, I don't know. So some of you might be interested in writing erotica, by the way. That just came through for some reason. Huh. Okay. Hierophant in reverse. Make your own kind of music. Okay, hold on. Can I get some clarification on this Hierophant, please? What is this body telling me? Okay. So in terms of this body thing over here, just bear with me, guys, because I'm having trouble, like, discerning this. All right, there's something here about you guys being off balance in terms of needing to get more into your body. There's resistance here. There's internal conflict. There's also rewriting the rule book, and there's also a little bit of regret over a decision that you've made. So I'm having trouble, like I said, like really sorting through the specifics of this. So I'm just going to kind of throw out the vagues, and hopefully it resonates where it resonates. So, right, so we talked about your intelligence is kind of like hindering you a little bit because you're overthinking things, and it's time to just pull the trigger and do it. Get out more into your body and out of your head. Look for inspiration from past loves, past relationships, okay? When it comes to your body, okay, so this is where this, like, erotica thing came in. So for some of you, not all of you, for some of you, there are certain fantasies that you have, sexual fantasies specifically, that would make really good, like, erotica. Like, either you are into, like, fan fiction or something like that. Like, I know this is very, very, very specific, but you know those certain, like, fan fictions that are, like, sexually oriented, or it's like they put characters together that aren't normally together? Some of you, or this might be extremely specific and it's like only one of you, has some type of, like, fantasy about that, like, blends genres, like a vampire and a fairy, like, love story, or like a character from Harry Potter who is having an affair. It's like Hermione Granger having an affair with Frodo from Lord of the Rings. It's like something like that. And so there's a little bit of, like wanting to like go there and like explore that further. There's also like the other thing here is, yeah, there's this something here about rewriting the rule book when it comes to your own body. So I think this is about taking your power back. Oh, okay, hold on. Okay, so for some of you, this is about some bizarre fan fiction thing, okay? Fanfic, erotica, okay? So if that's you, go for that, do that thing. For some of you, I think I understand why it was difficult for me to go here, okay? For some of you, you have had some traumas and you are struggling to reclaim your power in terms of, specifically, this is like a sexual trauma message. And to be honest, I don't even know like why this is getting brought up, because I don't really see necessarily like a way through that, except, let's see. Oh, okay, yeah, so it's actually kind of the same message. Sorry this is so like convoluted and a roundabout, but it's a little shadowy over here, so it's kind of hard for me to read into. Okay, so there's like fantasies that you have that are against the norm, and you're afraid that it came from trauma. So you're like kind of like unwilling to go there, like you don't really want to go there. But this is kind of an encouragement to go ahead and go there, you know? This is kind of like you're okay, you know? Like there's this feeling here of like, no, don't worry about it, you're good, you know? You go explore that. So if there's been something, I guess, this is so vague and so bizarre, but if there's been something that you've wanted to kind of explore either by yourself or with a partner, you know, I mean, ideally a trusted partner, you know, not just some stranger on the internet, unless, I don't know, I don't know your life, but ideally a trusted partner, someone that you know, and you wanted to like explore that further, I think that would actually be a good, like I'm thinking like 50 Shades of Grey here, like but that level of, like, I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be like BDSM, but it's definitely something, some type of, so it's a specific sexual fantasy or fetish that reminds you of a trauma that you had in the past. And so you're kind of unsure whether or not you should indulge in it or not. This is the nod to go ahead and try it, that it can actually be very healing for you, very cathartic, very, it's actually going to bring you a release. And now I'm seeing you like writing a blog about it, like a la Carrie Bradshaw in Sex and the City. Like I'm seeing you writing an article in several years, like how indulging my S&M fantasies helped me heal from my trauma, you know, or something like that, you know? But obviously with like probably a quirkier title. So yeah, that's about all I have for that. And then I'm going to go ahead and read to you from the Dancer. This was your Oracle card. And if you want to take a picture of this page, you are welcome to do so. They also give you a little moon magic energy dance, which it'll be a while till we have the next moon, but okay, the Dancer holds up her personal star, a reflection of our solar system's star, the sun, eclipsed by the moon, ancient symbol of woman. It is a new moon, as it must be for an eclipse to take place. Yet this new moon uses its own spiritual light, usually invisible to the human eye, to reveal its surface to this wild goddess, symbolizing that our soul's unending dance can illuminate our lives and whatever we wish for. The appearance of the Dancer in your reading is an indication that your situation will be resolved, your question answered, and what you want to know will be revealed to you. You will receive this knowledge when you do your best to free yourself from the influence of everyone and everything that prevents you from being your authentic self and expressing your unique individuality. This wild goddess grants sincere wishes that are for our highest good and greatest joy. And then they give you a moon magic energy dance. Dancing is an ancient primal way to shake off negative energy and to embody and catalyze positive, life affirming energy. Try this ritual on the new or full moon. As you dance by yourself or with others, think about what you want to manifest, what you want to draw into your life, new moon, or what you want to release, full moon. Allow yourself to be expressive and emotional. Sing this as you dance and see it, say it, feel it. Moon, shine upon us, soulful and bright. You shine in day, you shine in night. Each of us is born a star. A star is who we really are. The moon can bless us, shines so clear, brings life and love from far or near. Dance and let the powers that be, all helpful spirits, all levels and layers of yourself and your ancestors know who you are and what you want from this life. Dance and become one with the moon and your mind, body, and spirit. And I really think you guys should do that. I think that's going to be really, really, really impactful for you. It'll really help kickstart this like getting out of your head and into your body thing. Oh, and one other thing you might want to do. I did this last full moon. I don't know if you charge items like underneath the full moon, but I charged my writing utensils. So I took like my notebook and my pen and I charged them under the full moon, which you literally just like, if you've never done that before, you just take the things that you want and you just put them under the full moon, like outside, and then you just bring them in the next day and they're charged with full moon energy. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys. I wish you the best in everything, and I hope that you all have a really great rest of your day. And thank you for letting me read your cards. It was truly an honor and a privilege. So I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.